Okay, hello everyone. Very nice to have you join this online webinar, which we are organizing in the frame of our Erasmus Plus funded project Inclusive Schools in cooperation with the Athens International Children's Film Festival. I am Irini Careta. I am the project manager of Inclusive Schools, which is, as I said, an Erasmus Plus funded project on social inclusion. And its aim is to embed inclusive methodologies in schools across Europe. In the frame of the project, then we organize the Inclusion Week online. And this is one of the activities of this Inclusion Week. The project is in cooperation with another 6 organizations. It's the Institute of Education Policy from Greece. It's ACPP, the Asamblea Cooperación por la Paz, which is the Spanish organization we're working with. Expedition Inside Culture from Poland. Scottish Development Education Centre from Scotland, the Lifelong Learning Platform from Belgium, as well as OBESU, which is the Bureau of Student Unions across Europe, based in Belgium as well. The project so far has reached over 500 teachers, school leaders, and school advisors, and more than 2,000 students. We are very delighted to have you join this webinar that the Athens International Children's Film Festival has prepared, designed the educational material and selected short films that, let's say, are assigned to particular age groups of students. These are tools to help you work with your students online under these circumstances, but also to work through film education in the classroom as well. So I will give the word to Calliope, but before that, I'd like to highlight whenever you would like to contribute to the conversation. This will be an hour and a half presentation. Whenever you would like to give input, please raise the little hand that is in the toolbar. So I now give the word to Calliope Haralambous.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Irini. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. We're delighted to be part of this project. We are, as Irini said, the Athens International Children's Film Festival. We handpick films from around the world, from dozens of countries. We pick the best new animation, live action documentaries and fiction films from across the globe, creating programs for ages 3 to 18. We're dedicated to children, their families, students, educators, and film lovers, of course. And our main goal is to create a community. Therefore, this webinar is an ideal situation. It's an ideal occasion for us to become a small community and discuss in a group. We aim to create this community of educators, parents, and students who are going to be actively involved in the film experience. We consider our job to be mainly to partner with you as educators to share the media literacy tools and make them accessible in the classroom so that young people become equipped and ready to analyze and critically engage with media. Our job is to support you educators to strengthen classroom learning. Let's begin with the question why we use film education to talk about inclusion, and let's take a step back and talk about film education and what it is all about. I find this table quite interesting and helpful, and I'm just going to give you the outline of it. It's a group of 25 academics, film educators, and practitioners. They created this framework, and this group was led by the British Film Institute, the BFI. So you see on your screens that there are 3 dimensions when we talk about film education. The critical, the creative, and the cultural. When we talk about the critical dimension, the idea is that we want to develop comprehension of films, Being critical means being active when you watch a film. It means we begin a dialogue with ourselves, with our group, with our teacher, but also with the filmmaker. What does the filmmaker want to tell us? The cultural dimension has to do with how we create a film culture. We want to enable our students to have an ability of choosing and comparing and understanding film, because each film helps us learn a little bit about our culture, our history, our identity, but also other cultures, other identities, and other histories. And the last but not least, is the creative, which is, of course, is making films and practice. Making films is the best way to fully understand the form and the process of filmmaking. In this webinar today, we're going to focus on the first dimension of film education, the critical one. So what do we gain when we talk about critical awareness? What do we gain when we as film educators start a film analysis with our students? Our students learn a lot from the process. They learn how to express themselves and discuss their emotional reactions and impressions. They learn how to ask questions and support their opinions. They identify with the characters or experience themes that affect them through visual language. They also learn to distinguish between various images and also to distinguish between reality and fiction. And they also become able to watch a film and recognize the specific cinematic technique that is being used. We as a festival, we like to focus a lot on short films, and that's for a practical reason, and we believe that it works very well in the classroom, so we highly recommend this method. Short films, of course, they're short. It means that it gives you a lot of time to discuss. You can watch the films over and over again, and it doesn't take so much time in order for you to have a conversation with your group. Also, short films, they are complete narratives. They are pretty much like feature films. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And usually short films are unknown to our students. They haven't watched them. They haven't seen the specific title. So it gives them an authentic experience. And the last reason why we use short films is because they can, as feature films, they can include all themes, ideas, and cinematic techniques. So they're very condensed, and they help you start your creative work in the classroom. Before I pass the word to Katia, I would like to give you 2 tips before starting your film analysis session with your students. Always keep in mind that the content and the form are linked and they cannot be separated. Why the filmmaker picks a specific aesthetic, a specific form. This is always linked with the content of the film. So keep that in mind. And we also use a very easy structure for the analysis sessions, the before, the during, and the after. Before the film screening, we introduce the film. We talk a little bit about the background, the director, the title, of course, and the duration of the film, the languages used. During the screening, because they're short films, sometimes we allow our students to watch the film several times or dedicate some time, like the first time they watch it, just to have an idea, like to enjoy it. But then on the second time, you can dedicate some time on specific segments from the film, and you can point their attention towards the points that you would like to discuss. And also after the film, which is the work that you can do in classroom, divided in pairs or in groups, you can engage into practical activities. Some of them we're going to share with you today in this webinar. So I would like to introduce Katia Papaspiliopoulos now, who is the Director of Educational Programs of the Athens International Children's Film Festival, and who is going to introduce the film to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Calliope. Hello, everyone. Before we watch the film, we'll do the before the session, and here are some information that you may know before watching the film. So the film we are going to watch is from New Zealand. It's 12 minutes long. It's a live action movie. The director is Jessica Gray Smith. It's in English. And you have here a small plot and some of the most important themes of the film. So now we are going to watch the film with the link we've just sent you. The film is 12 minutes long, so we'll be back here in our webinar in 14 minutes.
I hope that everyone is back.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the film. We'll start now the film analysis session. We have a simulation of a classroom. I'll be the teacher and you'll be the students for a change. I will start by asking, what is a stereotype? A stereotype is an oversimplified social perception based on generalization about a person, a social group, or even a nationality. To understand better, we can think, for example, about stereotypes regarding nationalities. For example, I can say for Greeks that Greeks are good hosts. Or I can say that Greeks are lazy. Do you have in mind some other stereotype about a nationality?
So we've got a comment from Athena. Stereotype is an overgeneralized belief about a particular group of people. For the previous, we've got Xavi who wants to speak. Xavi, please.
As I think I'm the only Spanish around here, the stereotype for Spanish is that we are always happy and dancing and so.
Okay. And a stereotype of Spanish for other nationality? What would you say about Greeks, for example? Do you have something?
For Greeks?
Or for another nationality? Because it's different from country to country.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Greeks and Spanish are similar, but
right.
Greeks that you're always in the street and so.
Yes.
Athena says like the French that this is a stereotype that they're good lovers.
Yes. Or they have poor hygiene also.
Right. Or Germans work hard. They are very disciplined, for example.
Yes.
Okay. We like stereotypes in Europe. We use them a lot. I'm trying to think. We also say in Greece that Italians and Greeks are very similar, or Spanish and Greeks are very similar. This is it's a generalization.
Yes.
Right.
So the list can be very long for each nationality, and as I said before, it can change from country to country. So there are arbitrary generalization, then can be positive or negative. That's why I used before for Greeks a positive stereotype and a negative stereotype. Stereotypes also can often lead to prejudice. It's the formation of a biased and negative opinion, which is often emotionally charged. And prejudices are very resilient. We all have them, often without even realizing that we do have them. So if we understand how they work, we will find it easier to overcome them. So let's continue about social stereotype and prejudice. In this film, each character embarks on a journey through their own prejudices and stereotypes. In 12 minutes, it's very short, each character starts from a specific preconception and moves towards finally accepting themselves or the other. And the script and the filmmaker's camera follow each character's journey. Let's look now at Mika's emotional journey and how it develops along the various stages of the narrative by analyzing the different shots. First shot, I will make I will begin, and maybe you will want to do it also. First shot, Mika wants to play baseball with the boys, but they don't pick her for the team. So she's all alone facing them, and we really feel with this shot that she's completely alone and rejected. Second shot, Mika is alone and she feels excluded from the boys group because now they are playing and she really wants to play, but she can't. Third scene, she's in her room alone again, and she really has a passion for baseball. And we see it because she's always with a baseball ball in her hands. But she can't practice alone because, unfortunately, baseball is a team sport. The fourth one, does someone want to talk about it, or I continue?
Can I say something about the first scene?
Yes,
The way I see it now, I see how this subjective shot from the eyes of the boys also is a very powerful beginning scene and shot, because it also shows the difference, as you said in the beginning, between and the isolation. It's us. It's the boys and her. So it's
us versus, yes.
Yes, it's very significant, and I think it's very symbolic that it comes in the very beginning of the film, seeing Mika from the eyes of the boys. But I didn't want to interrupt. I just
yes, it's the starting point of the film.
So we have Athena saying that, like for the fourth scene, that she's still having hopes and feel rejected once more. And she also points out that it is not clear for her that in the beginning that is about a girl.
Yes.
Right.
So in the fourth image scene, she seems quite happy because at this moment she tries to become a part of the group of girls by playing hide and seek. But the girls make fun of her, and she's once more, after this scene, socially isolated once more. What is the reaction? The reaction is, of course, violence, because very often we have a violent reaction to rejection, and she feels that it's the only recourse she has. Now, this very important scene, does someone want to talk about it?
We have Tavi, yes, please.
Well, in this moment, she decides that she wants to have a haircut as a boy, not as a girl. Maybe trying to be a member of the boys group because she loves baseball, well, or cricket, yeah, and she wants to be a member. She thinks that maybe with the change of your appearance, your physical appearance, she can be able to be a member of a group, in this case, boys. No? So
exactly.
She reacts, she makes something to try to be a member of the group after so many rejections.
Yes, and it's really like a great idea for her. She comes up with a way to be included, and she tries to be included in this way. But she follows, of course, the gender stereotype that all boys have short hair and all girls have long hair.
We have, like, she makes an active statement, Maria Merit says, and we have an interesting comment also from Athena, saying that it is not a matter of sex in the beginning, and that is important as she's rejected from the girls too. And this is the brilliant idea of the film, that she's rejected as a person, not because of her sex or anything else. And she decides eventually what is the group that she's interested to follow.
Okay. Next scene. It's a very beautiful scene, and she smiles in this scene, and it's very rare to see her smile. She plays baseball. She just played play baseball with her friend Chris in his yard, and she really feels happy. It's one moment of joy for her because she feels accepted and she is no longer alone. So it's a very important plan, and it's a close-on plan to show this joy. Do we have any comments?
Is this scene in the classroom? Is this after the bullying experience she had?
She has just been bullied by the gang of girls, and she really feels so rejected and lonely and isolated from this time from the social group represented by all her classmates, by everybody. She feels really rejected from everybody.
Athena says she's also rejected in the class.
Yes. This beautiful image, who wants to comment it?
Anyone would like to comment on the scene?
May just say that this is also the poster of the film.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
It's very significant.
Mm-hmm. Xavi?
Yeah, it's a great scene because I think it's a good way to show that, you know, resilience. I don't know if it's the right word in English too. Resilience, you know, the strength to recover even after so many rejections and so many difficult situations.
Resilience, yes.
Resilience, yeah. She's able to work it out, and she continues trying to play, and she catches the ball, and she's really good in the sport. And then everything, even after bullying, after different problems, it shows that even with gender or with personal any kind of rejection, she's able, and anyone is able to recover and to be integrated.
Mm-hmm. And she has the strength to earn acceptance from the boys. So she's very strong.
We have a couple of comments in the chat box. Athena says that like she's out, but she has the power to be in again with this scene. She finds the chance to prove herself, Mary says, among the boys group where she wants to belong, really. Euphemia says she's starting a new life. It's like a Zenith scene. After that, she's starting a new life.
Of course, because it's she really feels, and also at the last scene, she feels really that it's a journey of self-acceptance. She has succeeded. She gets to play baseball. She's accepted by the boys. She's included, but she did it for herself. And she's learning to be happy with who she is at the end. Does someone want to say something?
Already, Athena says that she proves that she deserves to be in.
Of course.
They're not doing her any favor.
No.
Irene and everybody, hello.
Heidi?
Okay. I just wanted to comment that in every narrative there is a climax, and apparently that scene where she catches the ball is the climax where it leads to the resolvement of the whole issue. So everybody goes happy after that. We can assume that that's the beginning of the rest of her life.
Yes. So now, something else. We have these two photos. You can ask your students to look at these two pictures and ask them, is the highlighted child on the left side of each picture a boy or a girl? And why is that? How do we recognize and identify that a child is a boy or a girl? You can also ask what games they think boys should play and what games the girls should play based on social norms, and what other differences are between boys and girls. Also, you can have a game with them. We won't do it now, but you can do it with your students. Whether they think each of the following adjectives is more masculine or feminine. Sweet, the adjective sweet, strong, brave, sensitive, aggressive, crybaby, gossipy, ambitious. You can ask them also if they think that there are jobs that are more for boys or jobs that are more for girls. And also, they have, with everything, this discussion can have to lead them to understand that most differences between boys and girls are socially and culturally constructed and have a lot to do with stereotypes again. And the only true difference are the biological differences. So the child that we saw before is a girl, and that girl is 12 years old on those photos. Now, here is the same girl at the age of 30. So it's very easy to compare this girl at 12 and this girl at 30 years old. Though someone wants to do it, it's quite easy to find the differences.
Actually, her smile is exactly the same.
Yes.
I wanted to.
That's true.
I wanted to say that her smile is exactly the same, like in the previous photo and in this photo.
Yes.
But what we would, let's say, superficially see from appearances as difference to these two pictures of the same person in the different ages, at 12 and at 30 years old.
Mm-hmm. And I think this young woman, very feminine, we can say, she has an incredible strength. We feel it in this photo.
Yeah, let's go to the revelation.
Yes. This is Jessica Gray Smith, the director of the film Everybody Else is Taken. So this film is autobiographical. In the film, Mika represents Jessica, who wanted to show how much she struggled to find her place in the world and to be comfortable inside her own skin. She says in an interview, "When I was little, I was a little bit different. I felt that I didn't fit into what society defines as a girl or a boy." So with everything we just discussed, you can start also a group discussion with your students about what can be done to support children like Mika. What can education in school, but also at home, can do to help foster more understanding and inclusivity for children who feel like Mika? So let's continue by trying to overcome and not succumbing to stereotype. To do this, we can have a look at what the other characters in the film think about Mika. We can divide the students to the group of girls, the group of boys, and the grandpa, who are mainly the other characters. Each group should describe her appearance, her physical characteristics, her character traits, and her behavior. For example, we can make a table with all these characteristics. The schoolgirls, first of all. They can say that Mika is ugly, Mika is pathetic. What else? Do you have something in mind?
Xavi.
Girls think that Mika is like a boy. Even
Yes.
she's a girl, but she really, because she likes boys' sports, boys' activities. So it's the idea that why they reject her, I think.
And
they also.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
They're also like,
go on.
it's weird, she's undecisive, she's not interested in her appearance. They were even more aggressive when she had her haircut, Athena mentions. So
They call her a freak.
they call her,
Yes.
indeed, in the
They
film.
say freak face. So for them, she's a monster. So the other group now. Sorry. Do you want to add something?
Yes, because if it's in New Zealand, and I guess that he's Maori.
Yes, of course.
So I think there is also a rejection because of his ethnic origin.
Maybe. Yes.
Right. That's very interesting, Xavi,
Yes.
to point out. It has so many levels, the film, actually, about rejection
and also she has a different family construction because she lives alone with her grandpa. So she has many differences. The schoolboys, what can they say about Mika? That she's weird, that she's a tomboy. What else?
That she's not strong, I think.
Yes.
Calliope?
I feel like during the course of the film, you see, and I'm not even sure if that's on purpose, but you see the boys being a little bit more undecided about what their assessment of Mika is. And I wonder if you guys, if you all felt the same way. Did you feel that compared to the girls, the boys, they are not sure how to deal with her?
And I don't think they are so interested about Mika but the girls are really rejecting her.
Yeah,
they don't want her. Yeah. They are really mean. Yeah. The boys, they are not so interested. It's just weird for them to see that a girl wants to play baseball, but nothing more.
And we can see that actually from the, let's say, the words that we use through their perception. I mean, ugly and pathetic is
strong,
negative,
Yes.
in every context. But weird or a tomboy is not negative in every context.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we have grandpa.
And the grandpa, I wrote beautiful, sensitive, but we can have many adjectives because he really loves her very much. So we can put many good adjectives. I don't know if someone wants to add.
I would like to contribute with a very nice, interesting quote from Anna Isnin. She's an American writer. That we don't see the world, we don't see things as they are, we don't see reality as it is, but as we are. So this also shows in this activity that the way their perceptions or insecurities or worries for each group is, or for each person, this is the way they see Mika as well.
Yes, of course. And to continue in this way, you can also ask them to support their conclusion with statements of observation that represent the perspective for Mika. For example, the group of girls, they can say that Mika is pathetic and very ugly because she wears shorts and a frayed sweater, for example. Or the grandpa, Mika is very sweet and she's my whole family. I don't understand why she cut her hair, but I think it suits her. Or the boys, they are not so interested, so it's only Mika wants to play baseball with us, but she's a girl. Girls can play baseball. So in this way, we can see how many different perspectives there are about Mika and how most of them are based on stereotypes and even prejudice. So let's talk now about two other characters, Chris and Rowery, who both overcome their prejudices about Mika but they express it differently. We have 3 scenes when we can see Chris and Mika and the interaction between them. The first scene, Chris is one of the group of boys who doesn't want Mika to join their baseball team, and it's clear from the start that he's bothered by the fact that no one picks Mika. He looks bothered, but he doesn't take any action to change that. The second scene, Chris finds Mika in her yard, where we see that they are neighbors and like friends. And we see that Chris plays baseball with her and knows that she can play well. So it's an important moment. And the third scene at the end of the film.
This is a very moment, because you feel like Chris is there and you're like, please pick her, please pick her. And then I every time I watch this film, it's as if I don't know what is going to happen next. It's so powerful the way Jessica has decided to shoot this specific moment, that it creates this. I don't know if the rest of the team felt the same way, but every time I'm honestly thinking he's going to pick her, and there's always a bit disappointment afterwards. I just wanted to share this feeling with you.
Because we see how much he hesitates. He wants to really, but he can't. He's not strong enough to go against the flow. We say this?
Yeah.
We have Javi again in the line. Maybe.
Yeah, sorry. I had a connection problem. Sorry. I wanted to say that it's true. For me, it's one of the best moments, and it's very good to work it out with the students, because
yes,
in the circle of bullying, when there is a bullying situation, there is usually everyone has to be in a position. Of course, the victim is in the middle, and of course the person that is doing the bull and the person that are following them. But all the group, all the class, all the members of the group are in one situation. Chris is the typical possible defensor. And when they are alone, they have a good relationship. And it's also, a lot of times it happens. But when he's with the group or with the leaders of the group, he's not able.
Yes, he's not strong enough.
Yeah, and this is typical. Well, I'm a man, and when I was a boy, it was typical. You were playing football in the playground, and I always was the last one or one of the last ones, and this is really very cruel. And we still do it, or children, they still do it, and it's really very cruel and very difficult.
It's very real.
It's very real, yeah.
So now let's talk about Roweri. First scene, he's picking his team. He doesn't pick Mika, who is excluded from the game. Mika begs him to play, but he refuses, saying that it would create issues with the other players. And at the end, what happens? He's the one who picks her, because he notices that Mika catches the ball after an incredible bat, and he goes to her. At the beginning, she's frightened because she thinks that he will hurt her, but she's offering her the bat and a chance to play. So what is the difference? We said that Chris, when he's alone, he's okay with Mika, but he has not the strength to overcome the common sense of the group. Both of them have overcome their prejudices around whether girls should play baseball and have accepted her for who she is, but Chris does it in secret, while the other one does so in front of everybody. And so he includes her in the social group represented by the group of boys.
May I just say one more thing? I feel like this specific scene also is such a great example for all the students when they watch the leader of the team being courageous enough to overcome and not succumb to stereotypes. So I feel that this is an interesting point, and maybe we can, I don't know if anyone else would like to talk about it, but I feel like there is a strong message there for our students when they watch this specific scene, how leadership is also about being courageous, but about being bold enough to stand up for other people who are not strong enough. So
would also like to say something, please.
I agree with Kelly absolutely, because when there's a situation of bullying and the leader is able to recover from all these prejudices and so for the victim or for the girl or the boy that has this situation, that if you see that the leader, at least the boy's leader, is able to all these prejudices say that are not real. I think for the girl or for the boy that is being a victim, it's great, and everything is possible to recover. Yeah.
Yes. So, and to finish, we have another character. Mika, of course, is very lucky to have a loving grandpa who accepts her and gives her the strength during this difficult time. But she also has her own special way of dealing with rejection, which gives her courage and helps her go on. She has a little imaginary friend, another character. It's this little spider. That are the scenes where the spider appears. So the spider appears when she's very lonely and very sad, but also when she's happy, because when she's after playing with Chris, she also appearing the spider. Can you say a little why it's a different way of make her why the director chooses to show us this spider and how she chooses to do so?
So we've got a comment from Athena saying that she needs an avatar. Mika needs an avatar.
And
why,
the director.
Why do you think the director? Yes, I was about to say the same thing. Like to say to the question again about why the director chooses to use this way to.
She chooses to use an animated character in a live action film. Why does she do this?
Athena continues by saying that it is herself. It is important to remember to take care of herself.
And also it's her imaginary friend, the friend she has only for herself. I will finish with inner change, because it's really a journey about inner change, and you can take a while to read the programming director of the Athens International Children Film Festival, who explains why she chose this film for the school program and why it's an important film. Because we really see the inner change of Mika in this film.
Also, Euphemia says that regarding the previous question about the spider,
yes,
she makes a point about how the director wants to show that perhaps animals cannot harm the way people harm, yes. Because it appears in the moment that she's more hurt, let's say, from people, from her peers.
Okay, interesting. So, and to finish, those activities about stereotypes and self-acceptance are a great jumping up point to start a discussion with your students about human rights, and more specifically, the rights of the child, sorry. This is the Convention on the Rights of the Child, who was adopted in 1989. And it's made up of 54 articles. This is the kid-friendly version, and it's very useful and a very important tool for film analysis session and for film education about all films, because everything can be linked with one or more of these articles. For example, we picked this time some articles that are really connected with the subject of the film, like not discrimination, life, survival and development, identity, sharing thoughts freely. You will find, of course, much more resources and material in the educational kit you will receive tomorrow. And maybe you have some questions or remarks, and we can talk all together. Thank you.
Thank you, Katja. Thank you very much.